Hey guys, it's Ihasnotomato here, bringing you another TF2 video, but this time it's going to be a little bit off what I normally do. Today I'm actually going to tell you a bit of a TF2 story time, a little bit of a TF2 trade story actually, because something just happened to me about an hour ago or so that I figure, you know, this is actually an interesting enough story that I feel like a lot of people should know about it. It's a bit of a PSA, but just bear with me. And I'll tell you what happened. So essentially, I have been doing a bit of trading recently. Just to give you a bit of context, I'm actually recording this November 16th, 2016. So this is probably months and months before this video even comes out. I'm actually on my little leave that I'm doing. And the reason that it's relevant for this time of year is because I've been selling some of the new Halloween items. One of which that I recently unboxed a couple of weeks ago was an unusual burst chester taunt with a hellish Inferno effect, I believe. It's a pretty good unusual, and at this moment in time I was pricing around about 165 keys or so. So I've been putting it up all over the place, you know, Outpost, TF2 backpack or whatever it's called, all that kind of stuff. And I've received a couple of trade requests, not just trade requests but actually also Steam friend requests. Now normally I'm not super into the whole friend request thing because I've had a couple of other stories in the past which I'll tell one day. Friend requests that I expect to be one thing then were another thing and turned out to be a very, very bad thing overall. But anyway, someone did add me as a friend and I thought, you know, whatever, I just want to get these items out, I want to get my keys, I want to kind of, you know, do a bit of trading business. So anyway, this person called the truth/trade.tf sent me a message on Steam, you know, saying, hey, are you there? And I said, yeah, I'm there. He says, interested in your unusual. I said, he says, do you still have it? I said, which one? I said, how much for the hot rod? Which I immediately went, that's not for sale. And he's like, oh, all right, is the taunt selling? I said, yes, the burst chester is selling for about 180 keys. Can you go lower? I thought, okay, maybe 165. The reason, by the way, I lowered it that much was because I knew I could probably get an extra like 15 keys from another thing that I had. And he says, you know, he has to go get more keys from the market. I said, yeah, all right, whatever, you can do all that. Do you have the Steam mobile authenticator? Which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, haven't traded in a while, the way trades work nowadays is Steam is paired up with the Steam mobile authenticator, with the Steam mobile app. And essentially, whenever you make a trade or anything like that, you know, is a big thing, you have to confirm it on your mobile just to make sure it was really you who did it. And if you don't have the mobile authenticator, you can add about 15-day wait period to the trade. So that's just a nice little thing to know, by the way, because some people will be very put off if you don't have the mobile authenticator. Because this whole episode, I suppose, is a bit of a PSA in terms of trading and stuff in TF2. Can I check if it's clean? I said, well, I mean, I unboxed it. I unboxed the actual burst chester taunt. And he said, yeah, I'm just a little concerned about the item bug, especially on unusuals in the new update. I'm like, okay. And he asked me, do I have a personal friend online right now? And can they help us both? A trusted or real life friend of yours for a sec? And I said, well, why? Essentially what he says is, in order to see if an item is duped or unclean or whatever, you can trade it to a friend or another person, and if the item does not like immediately disappear or something like that, then you can tell that it's legit. Now I personally was completely unaware of this. Like, I knew that you could get duped items and stuff. Like, apparently sometimes when trades happen with like the newer unusuals and stuff, they somehow dupe it. I'm not entirely sure on the whole mechanics of it, but apparently that's generally what happens. I mean, this is what this guy told me at least, so I have reason to not believe much that he says. But yeah, so he basically says, like, what we'll do is you can trade your burst chester taunt to a trusted friend of yours, and he would also be friends with my friend, and he would see that when I traded it to my trusted friend, that it wouldn't disappear or anything like that, and you can tell that it was indeed clean. It wasn't duped or anything like that. It wasn't like a buggy item. So I'm like, I mean, okay, I guess. So I give him the name of one of my friends, and they're not online right now, but you know, I'll have to talk to them and stuff like that. And one of the things that's very, very important about my friend is not the kind of person who will add just anyone on Steam. In fact, I'm pretty sure he has the exclusive rule that he only really adds people on Steam that he knows in real life. So generally, whenever he gets a random friend request, he'll immediately decline it. So I messaged my friend on Facebook. I said, look, whenever you get online tonight, like, let me know so we can kind of get this trade underway or whatever. So like he won't immediately decline it because I knew he was at work at the time. I didn't mention this to the person though. Going back to the conversation that we had, like, do you have a real life friend? I said, yeah, this is what his name is. He then adds him, supposedly at least, and he said, I'll add on 2 more keys just to be fair, if that's okay. I'm like, yeah, alright, I guess. And he asked for the details. Now what he does next is actually a little bit devious. He then sends me a link to another person's account and he says, can you add this account? I said, what's this? He said, well, basically this is my key holder account, and the name was like key holding or whatever. It was a private account, and he said, like, this is the one where I will then trade you the keys to, like, from. This is the one where he keeps all of his keys and stuff like that. I mean, I was like, alright, I guess. So I added as a friend. Now I want you to remember that for later, because this gets interesting. He said, I'll accept that soon, and he says, see you later. And I said, well, like, do you normally do this? He's like, yeah, I'll explain. And he told me that this is how things basically get duped and stuff like that. So about 10 minutes goes by or so. I'm just there watching YouTube videos, doing some other little like trades and looking around on the side, blah blah. And then I get spammed by 3 messages. Dude, you there? Hello? I'm like, yeah, like what? He said, your friend just accepted me and he is online now. Let me invite him to the chat, okay? So I explained to him too. And I'm just like, before I can even say anything, he adds my friend. My friend is there, he says, hi, what's this? And he says, dude, can you hold his unusual for a sec after I check if it's clean? And it didn't change. You return it back to him, okay, so we can both trade. Is it okay? And he says, sure, yes. I say, okay, trade now, tell me if done, okay. Now, here's a really interesting thing. You see, my friend and I, my very trusted friend, we have a constant chat up at one time. Here you can see that we have a little chat window that at least I keep up all the time because we often talk to each other on Steam, backwards and forwards, blah blah blah, and all that. I get another message from another overlord, which is very peculiar. This is what it looked like. I was like, okay. So he starts giving me some messages and he goes, so I'll hold your unusual, right? And return it back to you. And then he immediately offers me a trade. And I'm already like, this is so uncharacteristically like my friend. First off, he should be at work right now. I am checking on my other tab of him. He is offline and has been for the last like 2 hours or whatever. And there is no way in hell that he would just friend someone and immediately agree to this. I'm like, what the fuck? So immediately I'm kind of sitting back and I'm like, okay, I can see what's going on here. And all the while, the other guy, the guy I was initially trading with, spamming me with messages. Hello, have you got the trade done? Hello, have you done it? Have you done it? And there's also a reason for that as well that I figured out. I wanted to do a bit of a test because by this point I was about 90% sure that he wasn't the real overlord. I knew that he probably wasn't my friend. I mean, how could there be 2 accounts? What was going on there? I don't know. I asked him something that of course only the real one would know. Because, funnily enough, my friend was actually going to be coming over the very next day. So I asked him, what time are you coming tomorrow? And he says, what are you talking about? I was just brought here by your friend. And I said, I see. My friend, is it? All the while, of course, the other guy is still spamming me with messages. I said to the fake overlord, I said, you realize I can tell you aren't my friend. He's still offline and your account is private. That was the other thing, that when I looked at his account, it was private, and then I looked at my friend's account, obviously I could see everything. I said to the other guy, like, nope, nice try though, goodbye. I removed them both. I reported them both for one for impersonating another person and another one for trying to scam me. Now I think the most interesting thing about this is that I was trying to find that other account that I had added, the one that was his trading keys account, the one that was called like the key trading account. I was trying to look for it and I couldn't find it, so I went back to the old chat and I clicked on the link, and sure enough it actually linked me to the fake overlord account. So in that 10 minutes or so, he had changed the name of the account to match my friend's. So that's how he was already in my friends list. I think that's quite clever, although devious as all fuck. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, Liam, how the hell did you even fall for this in the first place? That sounded shifty from the very beginning. Well, there's a couple of things. One of the big things that used to help a lot of people find out if people were legitimate traders or not was that people who did good trades and stuff, they would leave comments on that person's account and say, plus rep, good trader, you know, all that kind of stuff, to kind of give the impression that this person was trustworthy and you could trade with him. And that's what I saw on his account. And his account, when looking at it, looks pretty legit at first. One of the first things is that a lot of the plus rep things from all these different people were all about the same time period, going back from as early as the 25th of October to as latest as the 28th of November, only a couple weeks apart. Although he has a lot of plus rep and all of that, the very last message that was posted on his account was actually the 28th of November 2015. That already was a bit suspicious, but then I looked at something which almost immediately confirmed to me this guy is not legit. See, I was looking at his account and his hours and stuff like that, and I noticed that on Team Fortress 2 he has 118 of 120 achievements and has only somehow played for 1.5 hours. Yeah. So that just goes to show that even people that look very trustworthy and have very legitimate looking accounts, you can't necessarily trust them. So what's the lesson here? What's the moral of the story? Well, I think that nowadays people are just so mischievous and elaborate in their trades and scams that honestly, if anyone sends you a friend request and you do not know them and you do not expect to have their friend request, just decline it. Don't even bother with it. Yes, there are legitimate people out there, but honestly, it's not worth the risk. You'll see a lot of people on like outposts and stuff like that who say, do not add me. If you add me, I will immediately block and report you. And you might think that's a bit harsh, but it's probably because of people like this person here, and they instantly assume that anyone who sends them a friend request is a scammer, and now I know for sure that it's a completely legitimate reason. So what kind of trades can you make? Well, the direct trades. They're honestly, as far as I can see, the best way to make proper trades. That's where you send them just a direct trade offer. You go on your mobile authenticator, you confirm it, you check everything. There is no real talking between the two of you. You say, these are the items I offer, these are the items that I'm selling and I want from you. You both confirm it or you don't. Fair and easy trade. But anyway, that has been a little PSA, little TF2 trading story time for all of you. So just, be careful out there with your trades and all that. Just be very cautious. Don't just trust everything you see. By the way, in case you guys were wondering why that guy was spamming me with messages and stuff like that at the very end, I'm pretty sure he was doing that so he could try and get the trade done as quickly as possible before I caught on to what he was doing. So that's another big thing that I recommend is if you are in a situation like this, take your time, do the research, figure out exactly what's going on. A lot of people like that who are trying to scam you will definitely try and rush it. Don't let that happen. Just pace yourself. Take your time. If they're so eager to rush it, then honestly, they don't deserve it. You know what I mean? They don't deserve the time of day. But yes, anyway, this has been a bit of a PSA, a bit of a TF2 trading story time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I have a couple other stories which I'm interested in telling, so maybe you guys would be interested in that. Anyway, I have been Ihasnotomato, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.